Welcome to the second episode of How to Build a Deck in MMDoC. My name is still Enkles and I want to show you today which creatures are the best in a deck or what you should not put into a deck. So we are talking today about the neutral creatures and yeah, neutral creatures, what does it mean first? Neutral creatures mean that you can put it in every single deck. It doesn't mean if you play Inferno or Necro or Stronghold. Every faction can use neutral creatures. On MMDoC.net, a fan site for MMDoC, you see all the cards in a nice list here, all the creatures. And here you see all the neutral creatures. There are a few creatures who are really good, but overall, and that's the point of this episode, the neutral creatures are really bad. Especially the neutral creatures who are common, that means who are written with white, in white. Yeah. So this is for example a common card, this, because orange here, it's an epic card. And the common neutral creatures are overall really bad. You should, if you have an alternative, if your collection is already big enough that you are not forced to put it in your deck, you should not use them. I can explain it to you really short on a real nice example, and we are taking the Wild Griffin. You see the Wild Griffin here, you see it's a neutral creature, it costs 3 resources, 3 might, 2 attack, 2 ventilation and 3 HP. So, looks maybe, for a beginner in the game, not even so bad. I mean, it's not dying to a firebolt, it's doing a bit damage, it's flying, why not? But now, let's compare the Wild Griffin to normal cards of the other 5 factions. Then you will see the problem. So first we are starting with the Succubus. The Succubus is an Inferno card, it costs only 2 resources, and it is not a flyer, it's a shooter, and it had also 2 attack, no ventilation, but for that it's immune to ventilation, that's really good, and it has 1 HP more. And it costs 1 resource less. If you compare these 2 cards, the Griffin to the Succubus, you will see instantly that the Succubus is the creature you want to probably have more into your deck. And that's the reason why you should play the Succubus if you are playing Inferno. But it's not the only example. Let's compare the next one, the Loyal Griffin. It's maybe the best example, by the way. The Loyal Griffin is an Haven card, and you see it costs only 2 might and 2 resources. It has also 2 attack, it has 1 HP more and 1 ventilation left. That means the Loyal Griffin compared to the neutral Wild Griffin is costing 1 resource left, that's a lot, and it has 1 HP more and only 1 ventilation left. Everything is exactly the same here, and yeah, if you only think 5 seconds about it, you would put in the Loyal Griffin in your deck and never the Wild Griffin. So, again, the faction-based card is better here. Let's do it with the next card, with the Lamazu. The Lamazu costs exactly the same points in might and resources, but now we have done a mistake here, sorry. And here you see one of the, here you can see it really clear. I mean, here is no difference between those 2 cards, but the faction-based card from Necropolis is just 3 HP better. That means you lose nothing if you put the Lamazu in your deck. You just win 3 HP, everything else is exactly the same. Let's take a look on the Stronghold card. Here I have searched out the Archer. The Archer has also exactly the same might and the same resources, and he has 1 HP more and 1 damage more, and he has immune to ventilation. That means if he is attacking he don't get damage reflected. And he is a shooter. Okay, the shooter is maybe compared to a flyer not 100% better. But overall, if you compare this, you will again come to the point where you say, yeah, I want to play the Centaur Archer, not the fucking Wild Griffin. And let's look on the last card I have searched out. Okay, I have closed the White Griffin now. I'm really clever. So, oops. So now we are comparing for Sanctuary as well. Here we have the Snow Maiden, exactly same things here. 1 HP more, one more time, same damage, 1 ventilation left, or less. That means you are trading 1 HP for 1 ventilation. That's always a good trade, because ventilation is nice to have, but HP is better, especially because the Snow Maiden, for example, is surviving an insect swarm, and the Griffin is just dying. And you see, special. Also, immune to ventilation, he don't get damage reflected, and hypnotized. That means the opponent in the same row can't move away to another field. So, also here you see the Snow Maiden is just better than the White Griffin. And you can compare this with a lot of neutral creatures. If it is a common neutral creature, it's always worse than the paired cards in the decks. That only is true for common cards, like I say. I mean, a Dark Assassin, for example, is a real great card, and it's a neutral card. Or the Peo Deathseeker. All of you will know the Peo Deathseeker. It's an incredibly important card, but he's not a common card. He is a rare card, like you see. And also creatures like the Fire Elemental can be used in some kind of decks, or the Void Wave. Also, Queen, uncommon, not common. But if you compare every single, maybe 1 or 2 commons are a bit useful, but also only if you don't have an alternative. That is, one time the CF Archer, you can use him at the beginning, if you are really a beginner in the first levels. Maybe he is a good card for you if you don't have enough faction-based cards. And also the Fire Elemental is not so bad. But like I say, if you compare it to the faction-based card, always the same result. Just don't play them if you're not being forced to play them. Thanks for watching. That was the second episode of how to build a deck. Yeah, and still good luck and have fun in MMDoC.